Hey, how's it going guys? Jack and Matt here with the PCBros, and today we're partying together a high-end PC dedicated for live streaming.
This PC is actually a PC for a customer over at our PC selling business, PCBros.tech. So if you want to pick up a PC like this or get a custom build from us, link down below. We might not always make a video about it, but this one in particular was really cool, and yeah, we decided to make a video about it. So before we talk about each individual part, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by Patriot and their Viper V770 RGB mechanical keyboard featuring Kale Red switches, a detachable wrist rest with RGB lighting, 5 dedicated macro keys, media controls, volume mute control, a built-in pull-out phone holder, USB pass-through functionality, and even dedicated lighting keys so you can customize your keyboard lighting on the fly. They also have a super easy to use software that allows you to fully edit, design, and customize your keyboard to your liking. Check the link down below to learn more, and special thanks again to Patriot for sponsoring today's video.
So like Matt said, we had a customer that really wanted to do some really high-end live streaming on games like, Warzone and Black Ops and all those games. So very high demanding games, and he wants to do it all on the PC. So we actually have an Elgato just for this so that he can also even do console capture if he'd like to.
This PC is pretty expensive, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be really awesome for live streaming and features some very well chosen parts that aren't super high end, but will do the job and will not totally break the bank. So how are we going to talk about each individual part and how it makes up this PC build?
So for the processor, we went with one of the best Ryzen CPUs you can get for this specific task. This is the Ryzen 7 5800X 8-core 16-thread processor, and paired with our graphics card that Matt will talk about, this is going to just be a dream combo for streaming. Now for the cooler, we have the Cooler Master Liquid ML360R RGB. This is like the biggest cooler box I've ever held, so I'm pretty excited for this because I decided to pick out a Cooler Master case that'll kind of fit with the theme and hopefully all the RGB works together really well. For the motherboard, because we have some high-end parts, so we needed a high-end motherboard, we have the Asus X570 Tough Pro Wi-Fi board. So it does have Wi-Fi built in. It's a full ATX board, so it's plenty of room for expansion. And obviously we do have an NVMe drive going on this, so we need to make sure we have NVMe slots as well. Now for RAM, we have 32 gigs of 3200 megahertz Team Group T-Force Delta. I probably should have taken out of this plastic wrap, but I like making Matt's job harder, But 32 gigs dual channel. You could go quad if you wanted to, but you're gonna spend an extra $50 on that, and you're not really gonna see a lot more performance. So what's important is that we have at least dual and a lot of capacity and RGB to add extra FPS. Yay! Now for storage, because we don't want to have to upgrade this anytime soon, we have the Inland Platinum SSD, and this is an NVMe M.2, and it is 2 terabytes. Very rarely do we hit 2 terabytes on NVMe, but we were like, we don't want to add any extra hard drives or SSDs, so 2 terabytes should be enough to last quite a while. And of course, this case and motherboard has so much room for expansion, you could probably add another 6 drives if you wanted to.
How about 7?
7, no.
Now for the graphics card, this is the RTX 3070 Ti. This is the first 3070 Ti build we've done on the channel, and kind of excited to see how this graphics card performs. It is the EVGA variant, so it's going to be nice and cool with, I believe, 3 fans. So it's going to be a 3-fan card, nice and, well, powerful. And the main reason we went with this card for this streaming PC is because of the NVENC encoder. It's absolutely awesome for gaming and streaming on a single PC, and yeah, it's a really good option for this system. Yeah, I kind of just said that, but we're gonna go with it anyways. Now for the power supply, we have a good old EVGA 750 watt GA power supply. I believe this is fully modular, and yeah, it's 80 plus gold. 750 watts is more than enough for this PC build, and just the fact that it's fully modular is an extra bonus. We normally like semi-modular power supplies because you're always gonna have to use the, well, 24 pin and basic CPU power connector, but this is a really good deal right now. For the most part, I think it's like right around $100, which is pretty good for an 80 plus gold power supply, so very excited to be using it. And for the case, which I'll come back to that extra edition here in a minute, this is the Cooler Master TD500, which has 3 ARGB fans up front with mesh. I really like the way this case looks. Every single time we build in it, I like this version and also the white version. It looks really nice. And it has, well, basic features, tempered glass, a cool like design to it, and really overall it's a good case for the money. And then what we're gonna be adding, what makes this a good streaming PC, as Jackson mentioned, is this Elgato 4K60 Pro Mark II, which is a 4K60 capture card, great for the newer consoles if you're wanting to live stream those consoles, or if you have a really nice DSLR, if you want to have a really nice face cam, this is a good option for it. A little bit overkill for that, but it is a good overall capture card that you can use for all your live streaming and recording needs. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. How are we going to put this PC together and see how she performs?
Alright guys, now that we have this super high-end gaming PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about a couple benchmarks real quick. Now we decided to test this PC and a couple of titles at 4K, and those are Fortnite, Doom Eternal, Chivalry 2, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. First up in Fortnite at 4K on max settings, which, yes, I know most people are not playing Fortnite at 4K on max settings, but I just wanted to see what it looked like because I'm so used to the blocky textures of performance mode or pro settings, and well, Fortnite looks really good and also getting 90 plus FPS on max settings. Again, Fortnite looks really pretty, and the RTX 3070 Ti can definitely push 4K gaming in esports titles no problems whatsoever, and Fortnite is no exception. I would imagine you could get even better results if you actually use DLSS, which for some reason my brain didn't tell me to do. So yeah, just keep that in mind. There's still way more potential in terms of better performance by actually using DLSS, which is now baked into Fortnite. Next up, in Doom Eternal at 4K on high settings, we start to see the limitations of the 3070 Ti, averaging about 60 FPS, but having a few dips below 60 as well. Doom Eternal is a very demanding game. We weren't running on the Ultra Nightmare preset because that would require more than the 8 gigs of VRAM that are included in the 3070 Ti. So if you're a fiend and want to play Doom Eternal at 4K, you're probably looking at a 3080 Ti more than likely, or a 3090 if you want enough VRAM. So do keep that in mind. But Doom runs really well and looks really good at high settings at 4K, making for a really awesome gaming experience, and it just goes to show that this 3070 Ti and Ryzen 7 5800X is a great pair together and runs very, very cool inside this PC build. Next up is one of our favorite games here at PCBros HQ, Chivalry 2, and at 4K on max settings, 100 plus FPS, no problems whatsoever. I know a lot of people don't really play at 4K, but 4K is a good benchmark to show how powerful a PC is, and shows that you can play at all the other resolutions at even better frame rates. So I personally would probably rock a 1440p 165Hz monitor with this setup, or an ultra-wide monitor with this setup, and get even more frames and have a different gaming experience. I prefer high refresh rate over 4K 60 all day, every day, but it does go to show that this pairing in this combo works really, really well for 4K gaming, and I remember when 4K gaming was the just absolute highest achievement. Just getting 60 FPS was damn near impossible with a single GPU setup, but nowadays even the 70 series card from NVIDIA can play 4K games at 60 plus FPS. Very impressive. And last but certainly not least, Shadow of the Tomb Raider at 4K on the highest preset, we averaged 70 FPS. Overall, this was a fun PC build to put together for a PCBros customer. We did this video mainly because we wanted to showcase our PC selling business, PCBros, and how we'll do custom builds for people, and this was one of those custom builds. So if you are looking for a PC build, definitely go to PCBros.tech and put a custom build request, or you can pick up one of our PCs that we posted to the website after we finish making a video on it. So definitely check the website regularly, but I think the combination of the Cooler Master TD500 mesh case, the 360mm Cooler Master AIO, and all the other components make for a really baller high-end gaming PC, and I highly suggest you pick up all the parts by using the links in the description down below if you're somebody who likes to build your PC yourself, and yeah, use those links there, affiliate links, and they do help us out. How we're going to bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
So as you all probably expected, this PC performs way better than most people could possibly fathom. And of course, we did it at 4K just for fun, because if you're rocking a 3070 Ti, you're probably not going to be gaming at 4K, but this is to prove that, hey, you can do 4 times the resolution of 1080 and still get great FPS.
1440p would be an awesome resolution for this PC, especially like a high refresh rate monitor, like a 165 Hertz. But yeah, really impressed with the 3070 Ti. I was very happy that we were able to do a build with it, and this build overall just did very well. That Ryzen 7 was nice and cool and was able to boost all the way up to like 4.8 gigahertz on its own, which is really awesome. And it can play pretty much any game you throw at it and do some live streaming without breaking a sweat, really. So if you want to pick up any of the parts from today's video, links in the description down below. They will be affiliate links and they will help us out.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
So if you guys think this PC is really awesome and you want one for yourself, check out our website, PCBros.tech.
PCBros is the place where we have custom builds that you can buy, one-off builds from YouTube videos, and well, just a lot of different computer stuff. So definitely go PCBros.tech and come in person if you feel like it. The address is on the website. Goodbye.